We are headed to a community that no longer is there. But what does stand is a post office in the middle of the desert. That's the only thing that's left of this place. And so we're going to head there now. And once we get there, we'll tell you a little bit about it. So, welcome back to Beers and Frontiers, and let's get this adventure started. So welcome to Florine, Nevada. I believe that is called. It was established, I think, in 1908. Like a lot of mining towns, lasted for several years until all the resources ran dry, and then the people left. And the only thing that's left is a few open mines, or a few mines. We're going to check that out, and an old post office, which is back behind me. We're going to get a closer look at that. So stick around. You don't want to miss that. But let's just talk a little bit about Florine. So, it's buried here in like the middle of the desert in the mountains, just south of Beatty, Nevada. Now, I've been to Beatty, Nevada plenty of times, and I never even knew about this place. I just kind of accidentally stumbled upon a few photos online, and I wanted to know more about it. And I wanted to come out here and visit Florine and check it out. And so I can give it to you here. The ghost town enthusiasts that frequent our channel. As we drop these videos about once a month. So we appreciate you. We appreciate you coming back. Just make sure you like the video. And that way, if we know if you like it, we'll keep doing them. And, I just kind of do this in my spare time. I don't do it as a source of revenue like a lot of YouTubers do. I just do it for fun because I like doing it. I kind of started this channel, several years ago. Me and Anna, because we did a lot of ghost town hunting, and we checked out, did a lot of this stuff, and we said, hey, you know what? Why don't we just turn it into a channel? Well, let's just show people places where we go to that they would not normally go on their own. So, but let's poke around here and see what we can find, what is left of Florine, Nevada. So, all right, here we go. So over here looks like we might have some of the old part of the old mining operation. I'm not exactly sure what this is. This may be a entrance to a mine they may have sealed off, and that's one of the things you got to worry about when you poke around here in like mining country. A lot of the ground is unstable, and you can just wind up falling down into a mine. But the state of the county, they'll do a pretty good job. They'll post these little signs where caution and danger, so you kind of know where to stay away from. But let's pan around and just kind of see what this is like. Now, if you look all the way in the background, there's a B. I don't know if you can see it. I'll try to zoom in, but that's the town of Beatty. That's the main town. That town's been around forever. We did a video there. But this is where the mining operation is. This is where the miners would come to do their work. Now, I don't understand why there's a post office still here. That's the only thing that's left. And we're going to get close to that right now, because I don't see any housing structures that are left. But a lot of these mining camps, they would prop up and they would just have tents and shacks. And I would tell you a lot of those shacks are just probably they were wood and they're gone. They fall apart. But let's get inside the old post office. All right, so let's take a walk around this thing here before we get inside. The roof looks pretty stable, so I'm not really too worried about going in and having anything fall on top of me. So this thing is like a combination of stone and wood. Now the stone's going to stick around for a long time, but the wood, it's got a couple of years left in it maybe. So we're just going to walk all the way around the structure here. Let me back it up a little bit. So you can see that side wall's just kind of falling apart, and you can see where there was some insulation. It's kind of just still present there between the walls of the interior and the exterior. And then you got the smokestack up there. It's probably where the stove was. We'll go inside here in a moment. So I'm not going to deprive you of that. All right, I just wanted to give everybody a kind of a full view here. Oh, get my camera straight here. Around it. Okay. Trying to walk and not step on anything at the same time. So there she is up on the outside. All right, let's go inside. Ready to go inside? Let's take a look. So you can see the ceiling is starting to come down a little bit, so I gotta be careful there. But the floor is sturdy. It's concrete. I'm not gonna worry about falling through. And there's that stove there I was expecting to see when I came in here. Surprisingly, it's still intact. You know, a lot of these places get pilfered and people steal the raw materials, or the materials I should say, like metal, aluminum, or whatever that's left behind. A lot of vandals come out here and do harm to these structures. So, but yeah, so this is it. I wonder, this may have been the back room where they stored all the, you know, the letters and the packages. And this looks like it was probably the window. Maybe you pulled up to the window here. This was the front office area. And you get your parcel. Yeah. I wonder how many people this post office serviced. You know, I was trying to look for some stuff about Florine, and there's really not a lot of information. I mean, there are other ghost towns that are nearby, like Rhyolite. I got a ton of information on Rhyolite, and I did a video on that about 1.5 years ago, and that's a pretty spectacular ghost town too. It's not too far away. I think it's about 10 miles. So they probably, these towns that are pretty close to each other, they probably had relationships with each other. So I will tell you now, they are building a new mine, and this town of Beatty is supposed to start booming here in the next year or so once they get the mine, I think, fully open. And they're expecting a lot of people to flood into this town. Right now it's a small town, maybe of a couple hundred people, but they're expecting thousands to be here. And I don't think structurally it can handle it right now, but so they're gonna have to do something, you know, maybe get a hospital, or get a couple more restaurants or something like that. So there aren't a lot of services here. There's a few, but not too many. But let's scan the area and kind of see some of the beauty here. All right, before we close the video. All right, I think I spotted a cemetery of something in the distance, and we're gonna try to walk our way over there and see if what my eyes are telling me is true. It's all right, so stick around. Let's see if we can get to the cemetery. You know, a lot of these cemeteries, it's funny, like they'll be in the middle of nowhere. You know, the people have been buried here for 100 years or so. And I would wonder, how do you even get out here to visit, the grave plot? Or if there's anybody even still around that remembers these people, That's one thing about being dead. You want at least some people to kind of remember you. All right. So I think what I was looking at here is another closed off mine shaft. They've got it bob wired off, so you can't get any closer. Let me see if I can see down into the hole here. You definitely got to be careful in these areas here. Let's see here. Around maybe to the front there. Yeah, so there's the hole, but I can't get any closer. Step my thing out. Yeah. You don't want to fall down that bad boy. So it's fortunate that is been cordoned off. So what I thought I was seeing is maybe a graveyard. It's not. It's just a bunch of white stones, white rocks. So yeah, some of this road is pretty treacherous. I will tell you, the road to the post office. I don't think Amazon Prime is doing deliveries out here. What do you think? I mean, they pretty much go everywhere, but I don't think they go to Florine, Nevada, that's for sure. All right, so looks like there's some old railroad ties, so there may have been a railroad stop out here. Who knows, or maybe just use materials they used to for the mining operation. All right, let me try to, I've worked my way into this shrubbery here. I need to find my way out of here. So, you know, one of the things I've noticed since I've been back in this area, and one of the main attractions to Beatty in the past was all the burros. Literally, you'd walk through town or drive through town, and you had to be careful that you were going to run into a burro or not, you know, knock into one, so to speak. But they removed them all. They're all gone. I don't see a burro around. I've been here for 2 days, and I don't see any donkeys, man. Now, I read an article they were going to move a lot of them out of here because they were overpopulated, but I don't see any, and it's a shame because it was kind of fun to come here into Beatty and to see the donkeys kind of walking around, you know, walking past the gas pumps, you know, as you're gassing up. And I will tell you that would happen several times. So that is kind of a bummer there. But I guess they moved them out for their own good because, you know, people were feeding them and they were dependent on the food from the locals, or I should say the tourists. The locals knew better. So, so they had to get them out of here. Anyway, let's keep looking around, see what is going on in Flourine. I may have told the story in a previous video. Years ago, a couple of decades back, I was here in Florine, Nevada, kind of poking around like I am right now. Not for a video, we didn't have YouTube back in those days. But it was at nighttime, I was with a friend. And I was walking out in front of her, and at the last minute she pulled me by my collar. Saved my life, true story. Because right at the point that I stopped was a drop down into the abyss. Couldn't see how far down it went. It was dark, but I'm pretty sure it went down pretty far. That could have been the end of me, or at least broke my neck or something. Moral of the story is, when you come out here, know what the heck you're doing. And heed the warnings, like the sign that I'm going to show you right now. See, this is one of those unsafe mines that try to keep people away. It says, stay out, stay alive, and that is true. That is very true. So I'm going to kind of, yeah, I really can't get much of a better view than that. All right, so this looks like this is it. I don't know if there's much more I can show you at Florine, Nevada. It's a quick video. We just took a shot up here and to take a look at this. So hopefully, you know, you enjoyed yourself and you got something out of the video. And so just remember, it's just south of Beatty. There's a turnoff dirt road about 3 or 4 miles up into the hill. So, but until next time, cheers, some beers and potatoes.